Sure do love milk.
Are you okay?
Of course I'm okay. I have strong bones because I drink calcium.
Warning, this guy thinks all he needs is milk and calcium for healthy bones. However, this is not the case.
Introducing O2, the latest in healthy bone technology. Our O2 diffuses through your bones better than any other product out there. Here to explain how our product works is Tom and Kat.
For your cells to stay healthy, they need oxygen. Oxygen is carried throughout your body in blood vessels. But how does it get to the tissues between the blood vessels?
The oxygen is carried on your red blood cells, which squeeze into teeny tiny blood vessels called capillaries, where the oxygen diffuses through to your other cells.
But I don't get it. How does diffusion work?
Tea is an example of diffusion. The tea moves from the bag where there's a lot of tea, or high concentration, to the rest of the cup where there isn't a lot of tea, or a low concentration.
At low concentrations, molecules interact less frequently, so diffusion is slower. At high concentrations, molecules collide more frequently, so diffusion is faster.
Bones are made of a bunch of little tiny tubes that are arranged in a bundle, like this.
Neato.
What does one of these tubes look like, Tom?
Well, on the inside of the tube is a capillary represented by this empty space here. Then, it's surrounded by two layers of bone. One of them, called cancellous bone, is soft and spongy, like a sponge, or the Saints brush defense. On the outer layer is cortical bone, which is a lot denser than the cancellous bone. The pink beads represent red blood cells with oxygen. As it travels down the capillary through the bone, the oxygen diffuses into the tissue, and the red blood cells continue on with less oxygen, which is represented by the blue beads.
As we can see here, oxygen, represented by the little beads, is first in the capillaries. Then it moves from the capillaries to the cancellous bone. And finally, it's both in the cancellous bone and the cortical bone. Now that we understand diffusion, let's talk about things that affect diffusion, such as porosity and consumption rate. Here we have a non-porous material, a semi-porous material, and a very porous material. Here we can see stuff being stopped by a non-porous material. It does not go through. Here we can see a semi-porous material pass small beads, but not big beads. Here we can see a very porous material passes both small beads and large beads.
Different tissues use up oxygen at different rates. This is called the consumption rate.
In your bones, the cancellous bone uses oxygen much faster than the cortical bone. The cancellous bone is like Tom, and I'm like the cortical bone.
A high consumption rate decreases the concentration a lot, which makes a lot more room for more beads to diffuse in. A low consumption rate only changes the concentration a little bit.
Today we learned how oxygen is transported to the cells in your bone through diffusion.
And how factors such as porosity and consumption rate affect diffusion.
For strong, healthy bones, get your O2 today.